What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Officer D. Come talk with me. Yes, sir. What's going on, peoples? What's going on, y'all? Let's turn that down. God damn it. What's the crazy story for the week? Don't really got one, man. I've been in class all week for 2 weeks straight. Straight class. Good news is that I passed it. 100-question test, made a 93. I'll take that. Definitely didn't think I was going to pass. Well, I'll take it back. I thought I was going to pass it. Then he passed the test out, looked at the first 3 questions, and was like, okay. Yeah, this is a waste of 2 weeks. Okay. That's literally what I thought. Squad. What's up, y'all? Thanks, man. It's much appreciated. Would have hated to have to go back to work and say I failed it. And then my captain look at me like, so I sent you there for no reason? Because I think we were pretty short while I was gone. We had some other people out for injuries, babies, military, stuff like that. So my team was already pretty short. So I'm surprised they let me actually go to training. Very much surprised. Your background investigator got a DWI. Will that slow the process down? Depends on how many background investigators you got. Only good thing about that, I guess, is that they can't say too much about what you did if they're letting background investigators get DUIs. Crazy part is one of our magistrates here got a DUI. And she's no longer, is she still a magistrate? I don't think she is. I know after she got DWI, she could no longer be a magistrate for our DWI cases. So we had DUI. Someone else had to come in if she was a magistrate on duty. She couldn't do it anymore. So that was pretty crazy. And she was always pretty strict on DUI, so I'm surprised. And her DUI was pretty exciting, from what I hear. What would be the second favorite department I would join? I don't know, man. I don't know. I like where I'm at now. Like, I had options before I got hired on here. But now, like, I wouldn't even really want to consider a second option because I plan to just stay here. And I think I'm pretty good here. I'm pretty good where I'm at. Congrats for it, because I passed that test, man. I was in class for 2 weeks. Passed the test. The class was for crash investigation. So basically, this whole week was just doing math and formulas, how to figure out the speed people are going, like measuring skid marks on the street, determining impact, all that crazy stuff. So, I mean, math is my favorite subject, so I knew I had that part. It's all the other technical parts of it that I'm like, yeah, no, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. But it all worked out. It's all cool. I go back to work. So today was the last day. I took the test today, and I go back to work on Sunday night. And no break at all. I tried to take a comp day. They wouldn't let me. We're still too short. What's a better option, county sheriff or PD? It depends on what you want to do. If you want to work, I would say go to a PD. If you want to, I won't say pass calls off, but it's just different call loads wherever you go, you know? Unless you go to a place where it's like gigantic as crap and the sheriff functions as a PD, like answering calls in the city and stuff like that. But if it's a sheriff's office where you're only answering calls out in the county, it all depends on the level of proactivity, I guess, that you want. Because we had somebody start with us who he made it through. No, he didn't make it through FTO. So he didn't make it through FTO, right? And he said the reason he didn't make it through FTO is because the city was too fast paced and he just couldn't get his reports done, all his other stuff done. So he just couldn't make it. But he went to the sheriff's office and I saw him. He's like, man, I love it. I go to like 4 calls a day, 1 report a day, and it's my speed and I love it. And that's your speed, then that's good for you. I like call after call. I like traffic stops. I just like what the city brings, you know. I'm not an animal guy. I'm not an animal guy, so I'm not going, go to the county. Your sheriff gets a lot more calls, and that could be. Yeah, the bigger places, sheriff sometimes has to function as a PD. And it's different places, but still won't like it. Sheriffs are also political. Like, we just got a new sheriff here, last year? He came in, fired a shit ton of people. Maybe they need to be fired, maybe they didn't. But if you don't agree with him, and while your old sheriff is campaigning and you're saying crazy stuff about the sheriff that's running against him, when he get there, he might feel some type of way about that, and he might let you go. So, I mean, it's whatever. If I had a police car, my Charger, just a newer Charger. I got a 2014 Charger right now. I would 100% go for that 2020 Charger, which they better be giving me in the future. Actually, 2020 is over. I need something newer than that, but I need a Charger. See, that's what they're going to do. I've been wanting the 2020 Charger all year. And what they're going to do is they're going to wait till it's 2022 and give me a 2020 Charger. That's what they're going to do. And now they got to fight me. So Wesley County, hey, man, I'm sorry. I'm just speaking facts. It's the truth. It's the truth. Now, there are benefits to county. Benefits to county is you have a sheriff who is the leader of that department. A PD, you have your chief and then city council. So some stuff you can't do. Like the sheriff of the other county that I'm not in, but I stay in, he came and implemented like an interdiction team and a whole bunch of other stuff. Lit. Like that interdiction team they get into some stuff. Nah, I don't plan on anything, man. Sheriffs are laid back and they have more jurisdiction. Police is better because they have more work. So much more things you can do. Moreover, so being a sheriff. They have more jurisdiction, yes, but they don't use it. That's the problem. That's my biggest problem with sheriffs. And I didn't expect that before I started policing. Because I would see sheriffs driving, in the city. They won't do nothing. That's the problem. For some reason, it's up to the PD to answer calls in the city. But sheriffs can come to the city and do whatever they want. For example, sheriff came through the city with a chase. They didn't even tell us about the chase. And the officer got on the radio and said, "Hey, I see the sheriff guys chasing somebody right now." Or I'm like, "What?" So I go license siren over to the location. And as I'm pulling up the street, like flying up the street, we got a university. And the whole entire university's gate is down. And there's a car like over the gate. Like, what in the world is going on here? Well, next thing I hear on the radio is we need an officer to stand by the car for the wreck report. Because sheriff's on directs. See, I come in the city and won't do it. Cause this. Okay, yeah, we're going to fight. We got to fight. My first ever ride along was when I was like 16. I was a police explorer. Pretty boring. It wasn't with the department I'm at now. We had like 2 calls. It was boring as crap. But one of the guys I was with an explorer with came to the department I got hired on with, and I started doing ride-alongs with him like his first week out of the FTO. And I maybe did like 6 with him. So those are pretty lit. But I don't know. I didn't have the best experience with ride-alongs. Like, he's a pretty proud cop, but the days I rode with him, he never arrested anybody. So I never had the experience of like actually arresting somebody and taking them before a magistrate and all that. So I didn't know what that was. It was just some pretty exciting calls. They just weren't his calls to arrest anybody on. So we never went to the magistrate's office or really saw anything interesting. Now, my ride-alongs, I try to make it as interesting as I can. If it's somebody else's call, I know you're riding with me, I'll take it. So you can see everything. I'll go to the hot calls. I'm just that type of rider. If you want to be police, you ride with me. And my team, like I said, the video I did on that, officers hate doing ride-alongs. I'm just gonna be honest. Or most officers hate doing ride-alongs. There's some of us that don't mind it and actually like it. But they hate it just because of somebody in their car. Like, you get some people who just won't. It's just constant questions. Can we go do this? Can we do that? Like, chill out. Just go slow. But I've taken probably every ride along I've had on my team, maybe except 3. Nah, I don't mind them at all. Yeah, still be exciting no matter how big. My city is like 116,000, like a mid-sized city, right? I'm not an officer in Texas, so I don't know. You have to look that up. You got to be 18 to go to ride along, and that's different from wherever you stay at, honestly. Like, I made a video the other day. I forgot to address the vest thing. My agency will not give you a vest. You cannot bring your own vest. You can bring a gun if you are a police officer. So they do allow you. But the city right next to me, if I was going to, one person that ride with me was somebody from my academy, and they allowed her to bring her gun. But if I did a ride along with her, I couldn't take my gun. But you can't wear a vest. Some other agencies will allow you to wear a vest and require you to wear a vest. Some other agencies won't let you get out of the car. I don't know what the point of doing a ride along is if you can't get out of the car. That's the thing I like about my agency, though, is you can pretty much do whatever the officer will allow you to do. My favorite part of the job, just arresting bad guys, man. That's what every cop is here to do, arrest bad guys. You do something crazy, you get arrested. If I was not, my second plan was to be a math teacher, high school math teacher. I don't know how I would do with being a math teacher. Probably not good. Because I don't like bad kids. What was my first arrest? I don't know. I had to look that up. I think it was, when I first started, we were on first shift. So I believe it was just going to serve a warrant. Actually, I do remember it. I said in the video that he let me start driving the second day, but I was answering calls or going up to doors and crap by myself on the first day. Like, we put up to start serving warrants, and he's like, all right, go up there. I'm like, what? Go up there and see if he's home. Okay. Luckily, he wasn't home on that one. That was just something he wanted to do. He started coming up with me, but I still had to answer basically all the calls by myself, which I like the way he did it. It gets you more prepared, like ahead of everybody else who were still like paying like the background officer for your first phase of FTO. But my first arrest was off a warrant. Just so we're clear, some people just don't need to jump into the profession because you want to beat bad guys. Most people need to have that calling. This has been my calling for a long time. Yes. Not to beat bad guys, but arrest bad guys. I mean, that's literally your job. Policing has become more of like different things over years of being a therapist, a dog catcher, and everything else. I mean, I really don't know. But the primary function of being police is to arrest bad guys. And we got a new chief here, and I love this new chief. He was on TV the other day talking about a Christmas float we're doing. And this has nothing to do with the Christmas float. But the first thing he says is, I want everybody to know that we're still going to be out here fighting crime. That's our number one priority. Start here arresting bad guys. Start here stopping cars. That's what we're going to do. So we're always going to do. Secondly, we're going to build this float. Yeah. And then he went on about that. But, I mean, that should be your number one priority. There's people out here doing bad stuff. You need to arrest them. Come on, man. All is welcome. I wish. We don't even have sergeants. So typically how it's work is like corporal, sergeant, lieutenant, captain, whatever. My department doesn't have sergeants. We go straight to lieutenants. So it's patrol officer. We got a different level of patrol officers, but they're not supervisors. So I'm a police officer 2. Then it goes to master police officer 1, 2, 3, 4, and then lieutenant. So I don't know. Like, I'm still thinking about my craziest story. I gotta look at some of my reports. It's really hard to remember some of these calls after they're done, no matter how crazy they are. Like, you just really cannot remember them. So I'm gonna look at my reports and see what's one of my craziest ones. What's my take on NCSHP? I've had very few encounters with them. I talked to some of them, and they're always like, yeah, man, I'm always in the city. I never see them. I don't know if it's because I'm working at nighttime, but I never see them. I seen one 2 years ago. He was doing DWI. I stopped and helped him. That's it. I ain't seen one since. Not out in the street. I seen one at the jail, but I ain't seen one since, like out working in the city. So I don't know. Is it something I want to do? No. Like, I love stopping cars, but I also like going on calls. Like, I love all the other stuff of being police instead of just stopping people. Like, nah, I can't do it. Do they get mad at them? Honestly, we did a traffic surge a couple days ago. And one of the officers that was working the surge, basically, it was like 30 cops on the highway. It was crazy. I didn't even know it was happening. But 30 cops on the highway, and they're like pulling people over back to back to back to back. It was for Thanksgiving. And he sent me a picture of, or a screenshot of the Wise app that basically had like literally officers in a line on the highway. It was freaking lit. Like there's no escaping that. But typically I've heard of officers trying to put like the officer thing under themselves to try to change where it's at or say that he's not there anymore. I was driving up the street one day and I was like, let me check it. And they had one of the officers on there and I tried to change it, but I couldn't even figure it out. But if I could, I would. Have I ever had a kick in the door? Yes. Typically other officers are more, you got different level officers, man. I'm not that technical guy that's gonna go kick in every door that I'm like, okay, let's kick in the door. No. Some officers like that though. And they're like, their first thing is, all right, let's kick in the door, and they're kicking. Like right after they say it. Like, bro, come on. But I kicked it in one time. It was some kids playing on the phone. We were doing something else, and they called in and saying it was some shots fired in this house. We go knocking on the door of the house. Nobody's in there, or nobody's answering. So we kicked it in. Or I kicked it in. And nobody was inside. It was some little badass kids that was walking up the street. We were on another call. And they the ones called it in. I should have went to found them. Or to find them. Let's bat a night shift or day shift. So here's the thing. I've been in training for the past 2 weeks. I work third shift. Training is first shift, 8 to 5. The first 4 days I did pretty well with getting to work. But I told them that every day after that was going to be a struggle. Because that 5th day, I did not want to get up. The sun's out. Like you go out. Who wants to deal with that? Traffic's out. I had to be there at 8 o'clock. I stayed about 25 minutes away. So I would leave, I think 7:30. Which is not a good idea. Traffic, man. Listen, it's not a favorite of mine. Every day this week I was late. I'm just going to put it out there. So if I want to keep my job, I need to stay on third. Have I been in a riot recently? We had small situations for one day. We reacted to it that day. It was gone that day. So just that few hours of work. Did we come in early that day? I don't remember. We were on call for a while, but we only had one day of it. How'd your family react? So they always knew I wanted to be a cop. I don't think they ever thought I was like serious about it though. Like I was a police explorer from 15 right up until I aged out at 21. And I was in college at the time. And I was like, man, if this is something I want to do, I was about to turn 21 a few months like prior to that or after that when I signed up. Signed up in February. I would have turned 21 in August. So let me apply just to see. Like if I don't make it, I'll stay in school. If I do make it, I'm leaving. Like deuces. Because my only reason for going to school was really just to get away from home, to be honest. So I applied. I told my family that I was like coming back and forth. The school's that way. Where I work at is like all the way across the damn state. So I told them I was coming back and forth because I was applying for an internship at the department, but I was really applying for the job. And when I got it, I was raised with my grandma. So I went home, told her that I was leaving school to do this job. And her response was, I'm surprised you stayed in school this long. Okay. That's really it. And then I got hired, got my first paycheck, and I was out. I was gone. I got an apartment literally the day after my first paycheck. Yes, that would happen several times because people don't listen. I want to say you do, but you really don't. What you take away is your learning of how to uh, know law and interpret law. That's the biggest thing to take away. Because, and then again, it depends on what academy you go to. If you go to an academy that your agency hosts, then yeah, you would use that. But if you go to like a community college like I went to, you got several different departments there, and you're learning state guidelines, right? Every department has different rules and different procedures and different like cultures of how they run. So when I came to my, it was like completely different than other people's agencies that they went to. So I want to say yeah, but you don't. Like it's completely different. Like the way you do traffic stops, felony vehicle stops, all that's different. The way you handle domestics, it's just a different culture wherever you go. But the Sam Brown belt, I mean, I don't really have anything against it. I like the belt that I got now, though, the Velcro one. I just throw that thing on for working off duty or something. And I'm like, I just want to chill. Man, you take that thing off, put in the passenger seat. I didn't say that. But you take, yeah, you heard. Yeah. Polygraph. So an officer day in training told me that she applied with a different agency next door to us, and they didn't take her because they said she failed her polygraph. She came here, and they said her first time that she failed it here as well. So I'm like, okay, you just a liar. She went. They had to go to the doctor or something because she was claiming it was something about her detention. She apparently had a detention deficit or whatever. It allowed her to retake it, but she had to take several breaks. Like she had to get up, walk around, come back, sit down, and they made her focus on each question, and she passed it. So just go in being calm. I don't know. I don't really know advice for her. I'm not a polygraph guy. Just go in, be calm, tell the truth. Don't be nervous, I guess. She claimed she was falling asleep. Do that. Go for the money. It ain't always about the money, though. Not always about the money. You can get paid more at one agency, but the culture there and your supervision there is horrible. You go where there's good working conditions. Have I ever had to pit somebody? No. My department does not allow pitting at all. Did I ever think about working for the county? That was never something that crossed my mind ever in my life. I would be a great police chief. And that, here's the thing though the same question. Would I ever work for the county? No. Would I ever be sheriff? I can see that. I can see that. I'll be the sheriff, just not a deputy. Never got tased. My department doesn't carry tasers, so I didn't have to get tased. But we used to. They took them away. And they took them away a few months right before I got hired. Yeah. The hardest thing, I don't really know. Everything else is pretty chill. That's it. That's it. You named it. I plan on going to the U.S. Marshals? No. I'm done. I've never liked moving jobs. From high school, I worked at a grocery store. College, I continued working at a grocery store. I don't like moving jobs. Uh, so this is where I want to be. I want to retire from here. And that's the plan. Just work your way up. We got several different units I can go into. Then you got supervisor roles. Just go from there. Have I ever went undercover? No. Not yet. Can I tell you a bully something? Hopefully you don't got a bully, man. Bully. Will we ever get rid of the polygraph? I don't know. So a second choice agency actually has voice analysis test or something like that, which is apparently a newer form of like a polygraph test, but you do it over the phone. I don't know how it works. I was kind of interested to see how it worked, but I got hired here. But there are other options out there. Totally depends. My agency pays more than the sheriff's office. It's different everywhere. It totally depends. What's that joke, Roy? Have you ever tried to arrest someone that was high as hell and tried to fight you? Dude, that's every day. My city has a horrible problem with the heroin overdoses. So they ain't overdose, they high. And that's the biggest problem we got right now. Besides from all the shootings, is the heroin overdoses. So I'll say most people, they're pretty chill though. I mean, they're not gonna fight you once you tell them they're about to go to jail. Other than that, they're chill. Why do people like lefty cops more than righty cops? Because lefty cops shake hands, righties don't. I don't know, man. You gotta come stronger than that one. I took my voice analysis test. Haven't heard anything for a little over a month. I'll show my PT and background interview. Is that bad? I haven't heard anything. It takes time. So my polygraph test, we had a month in between because I guess our polygraph guy also does it for the fire department. I didn't even know they got polygraph tests for fire department, but I guess they do. But he had to do theirs, so we had to wait a whole month. And then after that, I want to say I heard back like within the next day or 2 days, something like that. But for the background part, no, I think that's pretty quick too. It all depends on your agency. Like we got several background investigators who are retired. They ain't got nothing else to do. Sit there and do your background stuff. Like they got nothing else to do. So it depends. Hey, is Officer C in here? All right. What's up, Cuddy?
What's up, man?
Not a much. Hold on, let me see if I can turn this up. What's going on? You able to get out the house?
I can barely hear you, dude. This audio.
Turn it up. Can you hear me?
Yeah, dude.
What's going on, man?
Nothing, man. I was able to sneak away for like 15, 20 minutes.
Gotcha. So can you see what people are typing?
Nah, I just got my phone, man. So you're just gonna have to.
You should be able to on your phone, though.
Nah, I don't know, man. You know more about this than I do.
Do what?
You know more about this than I do, dude. I don't know how this is working.
Come on, man.
See. Nah, I got a thing. It's like just says chat. I don't know, this SteamYard thing.
Yeah, chat.
I mean, I'm looking at the chat. Let me see comments. Okay, yeah, I see it.
Got it?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to.
Do you speak and understand Spanish? Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
That's for me.
No, you don't.
Huh?
No.
I do. And you know you heard me speak Spanish. Or I can understand Spanish.
Yeah, barely.
You're Hispanic and you don't speak it. So
I speak fluently, and the PD pays me too.
When did you take the test?
Last year.
Yet they call for a Spanish-speaking officer and you never speak up.
I speak up for my team. I'll speak up for your team.
Okay, we're paying you to speak up for an entire department.
Nah, you got 3 Spanish officers on yours. My team got.
We'll address that with your supervisor.
That's perfectly fine. My supervisors don't care.
Since you like doing traffic stops, are you thinking about going to the traffic unit? Maybe. That was a plan, but it takes forever for a spot in traffic to fill up or to come open, and they just filled one, and he's a pretty young guy, so he'll be there forever.
Yeah, he's on my team.
He's on your team?
Yeah.
Who?
I mean, I don't want to put his name on blast over here.
He just came to your team?
No, he came from my team.
Oh yeah, the one that's leaving though. Somebody said he's coming to your team.
Yeah, I heard that. I don't know if that's happening though. I would hope so. He can handle all the wrecks that I don't want to do.
They say he's gonna be north side, so
he can come. He can come south side.
How hard is it transferring departments? Shouldn't be that hard once you're there for whatever time your state says you got to be there. Which my state says you got to be there for 2 years, and then they fast track you in somehow. How do the big males and females pass the academy? You just do. I trained him when he came in.
He's lying.
How long you been police?
I don't know how long we
3 years now.
Yeah, January. I don't know. I don't know what it was. There was a whole certification thing.
Let's see if you understand Spanish. ¿Qué le dice un pollo policía a otro pollo policía? Necesitamos apoyo. Sí. Yes, I understand.
I mean, I could have translated it, but.
Huh?
I mean,
he's not going to translate because he doesn't speak Spanish.
He's legit. One chicken cop has to say to another chicken cop.
Do what?
What does one chicken cop say to the other chicken cop?
Duh. Everybody know that. Apoyo. Legit. What's your thought on H's that don't have cages in their cars and put prisoners in the passenger seat? Did you know the new cars that the county got don't have cages?
Did I?
Yeah.
You talking about the Mustangs?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it's a 2-door.
Yeah. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
But you said you put them in your passenger seat on traffic stops. I don't like that either. That's just me.
Yeah, but I'm not. But you already know what I do, or what I like to do. So there's a reason I put them in my front passenger seat. But if they're under arrest, I'm not transporting them in my front passenger seat.
I'd rather have them handcuffed in my passenger seat though than to have them like just chilling in my passenger seat.
Yeah, but
Too close for comfort.
Yeah, but you got to know like who you're dealing with. And I'm if they like the few times I've had them it's only happened twice that I'm like, when I get them out the car, I'm like, hey, you got any weapons on you? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, you mind if I frisk you? I'll pat you down. They're like, no. I'm like, all right, well, get back in your car and I'll be right with you. And I'll do what I do up there. If they let me pat them down, do like a little frisk, then yeah, if they're good for weapons, I'll put them in my passenger seat. But I don't just be like, yeah, I trust you, get in my passenger seat.
I got you. Any advice for being a police? I want to be one. I gave mine. What's yours?
Honestly, don't get teamed up with Officer D. No, I'm playing.
Don't do what?
Don't get teamed up with you. Honestly, just go for it. Be honest. That's the biggest thing. Like, be honest. Even if you smoked a bunch of weed, even if you did crack back in the day, just be honest. I mean, be real. They're probably not going to work with you if you smoke some crack. But,
not if you smoke crack.
Yeah, but just be honest, dude. Like any little thing that you like, if they're asking you an interview question and like you feel it in your heart, just tell them, because it'll probably come out in that polygraph.
True that.
So just be honest.
Have you ever been on a high-speed chase yet?
I haven't.
Have you?
I went 10-18 at like doing 130, but I've never been in a chase.
Yeah, me either. We got some people that like love chases, and they always seem to get there first.
I never got it.
I always seem to get it. Actually, I take that back. I did have that one, the stolen car one, where they crashed into the house.
Dude, I was eating dinner when you called that out.
That lasted for like 5 minutes, but it was one.
All right, so let me. You want to tell a story with that?
All right.
All right. So the way the teams work, I'm on second shift. He's on third, and at like 8 o'clock, I usually like have a call. I got my like daughter's hair on me. I usually like check out or something, eat dinner, finish my reports, and then maybe I'll go play or something. So anyway, it's not even 8 o'clock yet, and I hear this dude like saying like, "Hey, I'm behind a stolen car. I haven't lit him up yet. This, that, and the other." And I didn't say nothing, but on the inside, I'm like, "Officer D, don't you do it? Don't you do it?" And sure enough, he goes, "Yeah, car's taking off," and I got to drop what I'm doing, and then like left my dinner at the PD, and had to go like pretty much set up a perimeter with this dude while he was like in a foot chase. You
That's
got him,
horrible.
didn't you get one of them or both? Was it just
Yeah,
one?
we got the driver
That's all that matters, man. You got the driver.
who was 14 years old. So all that for nothing.
It'd be like that sometimes.
That was for you as well.
Yeah, I've been in. I think you
Huh?
did you talk about the one where like I stopped the car and the dude took off running?
That one. How many have you been in?
Foot pursuits 4. I got into one 2 weeks ago actually on a assault with a deadly weapon.
The week I was gone?
Yeah, I think it was like the first day you were gone. It was like our first day on. The dude pretty much assaulted a dude with a baseball bat and mashed him up pretty good. It was on one of our problem houses. I get out, he like did the ghost stare at me, knew what I was there for, just took off running, and me and one of my beat partners had to like chase him for half a block, maybe 2 blocks before I caught him.
Yeah, I've had not many. 5.
Yeah, I don't.
Most people don't run from me, and I'm not mad at it.
I mean, either. I'm good. I've had more people fight than run.
Yes.
Yeah.
Um, one of the chases was with this guy right here. We go stop a car together, work in this area, and I saw the car. I'm pretty sure I saw the car first.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you did.
And as I'm about to turn around, I see this mofo pulling behind him real quick. Like this mother trucker. So I pulled him behind him as well. He's already lit him up. I think he went up to the car. For some reason I was still in my car. He came back to talk to me, went back up to the car, and then he just took off running.
Yeah, pretty much like that's like what happened. But he got out the car and like he got out like pretty much standing up like this, like the F y'all pull me over for. So of course I drew down on him because I don't know what he's got, and then he just takes off, and I mean it was on. And then he thought
I just looked up and saw both of them running and was like, what in the world?
it's because he thought he had a warrant.
I didn't have anything.
He had nothing in the car, nothing on it. He was just like, man, that was dumb. I was like, yeah, dude, now you going to jail.
Do we have partners? We got beat partners. So we got people that we patrol an area with. Technically, me and him work the exact same area, just different shifts.
Yeah, but we've we ran calls together and stuff.
Yeah.
So, especially the one call I regret going to. Well, I don't regret, but
Story for another day.
yeah, we'll save that for like a day. I can actually like be on a video like.
Yeah. Do we have any Crown Vics? I don't even think we got Crown Vic spares anymore.
Nah, the reserves do. They're reserved for the reserve units.
Yeah, so they took all the spare Crown Vics out, so we're like all Chargers now. And somebody said they're not making any 2021 Chargers. I don't know if that's true or not.
Nah, they're talking about switching them from the all-wheel drive, like the one I got, like the actual one I'm sitting in, and yeah, I got 2019.
Good for you.
I think they're stop making the all-wheel drives, and then they're supposed to be giving everybody like in the next like 5 years or something Tahoes and like Explorers.
I think I asked you before. You got the officer safety package in yours?
Yeah. It's not worth it.
It came already in there. You had to go ask them to put it in there.
Nah, it already came in there. So, have you explained to them the officer safety package? With like,
Yeah.
All right. So
no, I have not. No.
All right. So officer safety package is like if I'm parked in a spot, I hit a button, and my backup cam automatically comes on, and it pretty looks like a shield or like a motion sensor 360 degrees around my car. And if anybody tries to sneak up like behind me or like to the side of my blind spot, the car will start beeping, the lights will start flashing, and my windows will roll up. So in theory, it's awesome. I'm sure it works for a lot of people. For me and like my B partners that have it, like if a leaf comes near you, it sets it off. So it's like not worth even having it. Like my exhaust has set it off a few times.
Still a new car. I just want something new.
Yeah, it ain't new no more. I've jacked this car up Southside.
I'm 60-something thousand miles right now.
I'm like 10.
That is insane. I'll have this car until I die.
Hey man, if it lasts long time, it lasts a long time.
Do what?
If it lasts a long time, man, that just means you get to
It's cool. They'll give me a 2020 charge in like 2025.
I'm just saying, hopefully in 2 years I'll get a Tahoe. So
I don't want a Tahoe.
Well, that's because I'm trying to get off patrol. So
You afraid of Ford drivers? Thank God my department doesn't have Fords.
I think we have
people switched away from them now. Has someone ever come up to you in your squad car and was drunk?
Every day.
Yes.
Every day.
Yes. That's why you don't park where they can come up to you.
Nah, but it was that one time we was parked up in our that hide spot, and the dude came up like drunk in the car and was talking with somebody was following him. And I was like, how the hell did you know we were up here?
I was up there with you?
Yeah, and you told me the dude was like just 73 and you've dealt with him before.
I don't remember that.
Whatever. It was last year. It was in the summer of last year.
Oh, I know if you park out in the open, they'll always. Some lady came up to me when I was working Code 9, like off duty somewhere. And she said, I'm trying to get a ride home. I said, okay.
Better stick that thumb out.
She said, you better give me a ride home. And I said, lady, I'm not giving you no ride home. And I was in, my car was in the shop. I was in that Chrysler 200. So no cage or anything. I get in my car. She cussed me out in the parking lot and then walked off.
Was she drunk?
Yes.
All right, 72.
No. 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 I'm a new officer in rural Midwest high crime area. Closest backup average is 30 miles away. Got any tips? Told me to throw away my academy training. I was trained in the third largest PD in the state. Guess just know how to take up for yourself. We work somewhere where your backup should be there in about 2 minutes.
If not more. If not less.
Yeah.
Because that night.
See, the day we got into ours, though, it took what? About 4 minutes?
Yeah, about 4 minutes. And that was because the rest of the city was getting pretty much losing their minds.
It was also because y'all were about to go home about an hour after that.
Yeah, so everybody was ready, like, pretty much where like they sit before the end of the shift.
Yeah. So those 4 minutes felt like freaking forever.
Yeah, but, you know, hey, we're here standing, so
true that.
Yep.
Have you ever pressed your panic button?
Yeah, that night.
Did you push your panic button?
Yeah, because the third guy we were with, I didn't know if he heard us on the radio.
I didn't know you pressed it.
Well, I pressed it. I don't know if it went off though.
Oh, well, I've never pressed mine. I've called like emergency traffic, and a supervisor has declared me like what we call signal zero, like officer down. They've done that, but I've never pushed the button.
Yeah. Well, my radio, like I don't know if you remember that night. My radio came off my loop, so it was like on the floor. So I had to find the button on like the actual like radio itself.
Yeah.
Pushed it there, so I couldn't hear. Remember, I have an earpiece, so like my earpiece was. My mic was off my uniform, so I didn't know what was going on. I was just like, man, I hope that button worked.
I mean, yeah.
Story for another day, bro.
Huh?
That'd be a story for another day.
Yes.
If and when probably that whole situation gets closed.
Yes. I need to check up on that too. Can you team up for buddy on shift where everybody ride one-man units? His shift, they can. And he does quite frequently. Because after we come on, I won't say y'all don't do anything, but they're not responsible for calls. So they can team up and do stuff. Other than that, you got to ride by yourself. That sounds about right?
Yeah. I mean, I like to do stuff. It's just lately, dude, like the past, there's been tons of nights. I'll be honest with you, bro. I've been tons of nights. I'm just like, man, I'm done because I got like hammered during like the day. But I try to do stuff at night. But sometimes either people don't want to do anything, or I'll just go, I'll try to get like some nighttime stuff on the highway, and it's just dead. So I'll just be sitting there for like 2-3 hours.
How do you feel about civilians driving retired police cars? I mean, that's on them. Before I became police, I kind of used to want one. But now of like having a police car, that police car is on from the time it's in my driveway until it comes back to my driveway. That is not a car you want.
Yeah, like here's your retired police car with like 200,000 miles and like a bullet hole in it. There you go.
Yeah, it's not a good thing to drive. Like we retired them from our fleet for a reason.
Like no. Cops do not take care of those cars at all.
They do not.
They like out right here. The first car I got when I was at FTO, like dude, I gave 0 fucks about that car. I smashed it, like a dent in it. I had scrapes in it, and I was just like, oops, and just kept pushing.
Those cars are like maxed out with speed, and they're on all day.
Yeah, my car would overheat.
One of the retired guys, he went on a domestic call with me one day. And literally, this dude was in the middle of the street about to fight me on his domestic call. He's coming out of his shirt and everything. And I look back at the retired guy. He's at his car. I'm talking about the husband of communications female. He's at his car. His car is like covered in smoke coming from the engine. I'm like, dude, what in the world? Like, he's over there, and I'm sitting here about to have to fight this guy. But yeah, they're not cars that you want. I drove one spare Crown Vic, and your typical driving stance is like this. I had to drive it like this. That's really how the wheel had to go, like this, to go straight. Have you ever knocked someone out? No. Neither have I ever choked somebody to sleep.
Nah, not on the job.
Have I pulled over any off-duty officers yet? And if you have, did you give them a ticket or did you use your officer discretion? Have you?
No, but last year, when I was living in my old apartment up north side, FTO pulled me over, and he did not know the general statute. He said I did a violation. I didn't. I mean, that's cool. I was just like, who's your FTO? And he told me the FTO. So I got out the car, and that FTO was just like, hey, what's up? And I was like, what's going on, man? He was like, yeah, sorry about this guy, and just apologized. But no, I've never pulled over or like off duty.
What was the violation?
He said I didn't use my signal, but I'm like, dude, I'm at a stop sign just sitting here. Like, I didn't turn anything.
You didn't turn anything?
I didn't do anything. I haven't even turned yet. And he like lit me up, and I'm like, what? Yeah, dude, it was like so like just out of nowhere. Like I didn't turn, didn't like pass the stop bar, nothing. I literally
Is
came
he
to
still here?
the rookie dude.
Yeah, the rookie.
Yeah.
How often do we make bets on when, where the next call will be? I guess. I mean,
That's never, but I remember last year, you used to play that game. That we'd go over to like our patrol area and be like, who could stop the most cars and like get the most stuff.
yeah.
But I mean, that's the closest thing we did.
So we got a real problem area of prostitutes, drugs, whatever. And late at night, we'll go and just try to stop. There's a violation, we're stopping you for it.
Like any little,
huh?
Like any little violation,
any little thing. Because it was also a shooting there, and to be honest, it helped for a long time. Because you remember, like those apartments are getting shot up, like at least once a week.
Yeah.
And it stopped for a while.
Yeah, do that again, dude.
We got to, for real.
Yeah, that was pretty.
The shooting started back up.
Yeah, they did.
Have you ever got someone smoking meth right in front of you?
Yep.
I forgot about this car. Do you remember the dude that smoked the crack pipe in the car on a traffic stop?
That we had to rip him out of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I put over a car. I think he put into a Food Line parking lot. He had a warrant, so I called for another officer to show up. He showed up. I go back up to the car action and step out. He's like, no. And he lights up a crack pipe and starts smoking that crack. So we had to pull him out of the car. I saw him at a gas station. I was working off duty, and he came up and was like, thank you. Like 6 months later. I tell you that?
Yeah, you told me that, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's like, thank you. And I didn't remember who he was.
Yeah, I still remember his name. I had arrested him like a month prior. So like when you arrested him, I was just like, oh, this guy. What's up, dude?
Do y'all ever work with the FBI? No.
Nah, I'm good.
What's your dream police rank and police car?
Rank right now would probably just be a supervisor, but that's like 10, 13 years away.
Yeah. But I wish it wasn't like that. I wish it was like the other cities where it's like corporal sergeant and you can get there like quicker.
Yeah, but I mean,
right now it's like 10 years away, like at least.
Yeah, police car, probably like an Explorer or Tahoe. Probably an Explorer. It's a little smaller.
Did my department participate in the Running Man Challenge or the Lip Sync Challenge? Yes, we did. It was lit.
I was not a part of it.
You were not a part of it. I think I tried to get your part. No, I didn't. Did I?
Yeah, you had invited me to it, but I was that was one of the days I was going down to the beach.
You wouldn't have did it no way.
No, you're right.
Have I ever did some off-duty action? If so, what was it?
Like chasing.
I don't know what that means. Huh?
I think he means like chasing a dude or something, like while we're off duty.
Oh, no.
Well, we did. Well, we were a witness. That was about it.
Oh, the day we went to the
Waffle House?
Yeah. So we had just came. I don't drink. I think I drank a little bit, but I didn't drink to the point of like I'm intoxicated. One of us did, but we're driving up the street. His wife.
Don't say we were driving.
His wife was driving, who was sober, and I don't think we saw the car hit him, but he was in the middle of the street bleeding. Right? I don't think we saw the car hit the guy, but there was a guy in the middle of the street bleeding, and like people surrounding him. So we got out of the car and helped, but that's about it.
Yeah.
That was it.
And then they were like those. It was in another city, and those cops were like, "Who are you?" And
yeah, another city.
We're intoxicated, and we're like, "Yeah, we're cops."
If you ever pulled your friend or family member for a traffic violation, for example, DUI, would you arrest them or just let them slide? DUI is not a traffic violation. Yeah. No, you will not slide.
Yeah, not a DUI.
Now, if you ran through a stop sign, you can slide. Discretion. Your Crown Vic has over 200,000 miles in a stained back seat. There's no telling what's on that back seat. How many cops in your area been shot at? Chicago, 80 cops been shot at so far this year. How many have been shot? None. I don't think an officer's been shot at since
like 2 months ago.
Oh, true that. I forgot about that.
And it happened.
There was an officer involved shooting. Yeah, I'll take that back. Yeah, 2 months ago.
Yeah, and then it happened last summer too. They shot at a group of.
They shot who?
They shot at a group of. I forget what team it was. They were handling. I think it was a domestic or. Like a party got out of control, and they were trying to clear the house, and somebody like around the corner took like pot shots. So they called. Everyone pretty much got their rifles, and I mean, I wasn't there for it. I wasn't working that day.
Yeah, I remember your crap that happened.
Oh, an FTO?
Yeah. I took a screenshot of the call that day to show like everybody in the city was on that call, and it still pops up when I went to send it to you, like as a reminder of that day. But what was it? Y'all went to like a party call or something? People started shooting?
This is when I was in FTO. This was I think it was second phase. Yeah, it was second phase FTO. And there's a loud like party call over here. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll go to it. It's just outside of our patrol area. And my FTO at the time, he had a nerve damage or whatever, so he couldn't wear a vest. But he had like an outer vest. He was approved for an outer vest. So he's like, hey, park up the block. I'm gonna put my vest on. You never know, whatever. We get there, and I mean, there's like hundreds of people, dozens of cars like there, and we're cruising. I have my lights on. Everyone's like, hey, police is here, clear out. All of a sudden, it was like just gunshots over our heads. So I get on the radio and I'm like signaling, shots fired, and that was it. That's all I said, because me and him hopped out of the car, pulled our guns out, and it was so much chaos, like people running back and forth. We didn't have like a target to shoot at, so we ended up taking cover. And I think everybody that was working in the city came. People off duty came.
It was lit out there. It was everybody out there.
Yeah, there was people that were at home that for whatever reason, it was like 2 or 3 people that were at home that leave their radios on, that live nearby, that they showed up, like arms to the teeth.
Yeah. FTOs like get behind cover, knock somebody's
light out
with his baton.
Yeah, like to put us in the shadows. Like I was in the military and I was just like, oh, okay, we're back to this again.
Getting shot at, yeah.
Yeah, it was never a good feeling no matter how many times.
Has someone ever tried to ambush or attack you?
Not ambush.
Not ambush.
I mean, I would assume not.
If you may attack as in fight, yes.
Yep.
Do you always get issued body armor, or do you have to buy it yourself? You get issued it. The uniforms differ for other departments. For example, some lieutenants wear white shirts under, some don't. Does your lieutenant wear white shirts? No.
I think captains and above have a white shirt, but they never wear them.
Not captains.
Somebody has a white shirt.
Majors. Citizen chiefs and chiefs got white shirts.
I was like, I know I've seen them before.
We both got hired the exact same day, 3 years.
Literally the exact same day.
About how many questions do they ask in an interview? Wasn't many, it was like 20 questions.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot. I actually had at one point like a copy of it, that the ones that they actually specifically asked me.
Yeah.
But I mean, that was 3 years ago. I don't know where that is.
Ours wasn't the same day, was it?
Yeah, the interview was the same day, but I got there before you. I was done while you were waiting.
Where did I meet you at? I remember meeting you in the lobby area.
Yeah, it was a lobby of the interview day, I think.
It was the interview day?
Yeah, because it was me. I met her. I met another officer there as well. I met you.
And you were talking to the other military guy.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was like, what a fucking douche. They sat there and talked about the military for like the entire time. I was like, okay. Like, all right.
I just got out the army, man.
Huh?
I just got out the army, pretty much.
do you guys like internal investigations, and why not? You guys, I'm not sure about your question.
I think he's talking about like internal, like PSD.
Do we like them? I mean, I don't dislike them.
I've only had like one PSD investigation.
So I've had one, then I've had 2 complaints. Both of them. If you looked at the complaints, it kind of makes me seem like I'm a liar or something. Because the first complaint, the chick said that I told her to shut up, which I never do. Never typically shut up. But I think what the real complaint was is that she started crying when another officer was talking to her, questioning her. And I was like, don't start crying now. You've been sitting here lying to us the whole time. And she did not like that. So she came up here, or she came to the PD and complained. Which internal investigations asked me about it. Did you say that? Yes, I did. Because there was no point in her crying because you've been lying. Don't lie and don't cry. And then the last complaint I had was about 2 months ago now. Working for a different team. The lady said I told her to shut up, which I did not. I just yelled at her to be quiet very loudly. What was the longest call you've ever been to? I don't know.
I never had. Oh, the longest one I went to, it took me like 4 hours to clear. Because it was a larceny from Walmart investigation, and I went to Walmart, took the report, got suspect IDs. I ended up driving the highway, went to another call, and suspect car, and all the occupants passed me going south when I was going north on this one street. So I whip it around. I get behind them, light them up. Arrested like all 3 of them. Had to process them. That took about 4 hours. Had to get the evidence. Interviewed all 3 of them.
You also caught that car that I was looking for that day. Remember, from the larceny? And they had all the stuff still in the car?
Yeah, but that wasn't that long. That took me... It was a suspicious vehicle call, and I just happened to walk up on it. And I was like, hey, wait a minute. I know this car.
What was the dumbest ride along y'all had to do?
Yeah, I got one that sticks out.
What?
So I had this. So there's a university in our city. So this one dude comes, and he's immediately asking all these questions, like all this stuff that you see in the movies. Like, do you do this? Do you chase cars? Do you do that? I'm like, okay, like I get it. You don't really have too much experience with the cops. All night, and this was third shift. This was third shift at the time. We were rotating shifts, and he just kept asking questions. And he's like, "Why didn't you give her a ticket? Why didn't you arrest her?" And I'm like, I told him, like, dude, like, just let me work at this point. And the whole time, I'm not gonna lie, the second he got in my car, this dude's breath just stank. And I think maybe 2 hours before end of shift, I just got so tired of it. And it's winter time, so like the windows are closed and the heat's blowing. And I just got so sick of it. I told him, like, dude, you need to stop talking and turn your head the other way. Because I've been in his car for like 8 hours and I'm suffering right now. And for like the next 2 hours, he shut up, wouldn't talk to me, just played on his phone, wouldn't get out the car, nothing.
So, an example of PSD complaint.
I'm sure I have a few I haven't, been told about, but.
Does your department have an Explorer post like a program for kids for law enforcement? Yes, we do. What's it like to be a cop right now?
Well, I mean, what is it like for you?
I won't say stressful, but stressful.
Yeah. I'm still doing me. Like I haven't changed the way I police or nothing. I'm just more, I guess, just conscious of like what could happen.
Yeah, no. Not change the way police. If you weren't doing anything wrong, you shouldn't have to.
Yeah.
But stuff pops up all the time. You be on a call, and then a group of people come out recording and act like you just did something. That's just with anything.
believe it or not, like I know cops are like there's a lot of cops that have changed the way they police now, just for like the current climate.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, a lot of people that I like do traffic stops on or I arrest, they're like borderline scared
They
of the
are. Yeah.
like like I would arrest somebody who had like assault with a deadly weapon, major drug charges, whatever, and then the second I go to arrest him, he's like freaking out, like legit scared, like shaking, about to cry, like I don't want to get beat up. And I'm like, no, dude, like, relax. Like, I've been respect for you the whole time.
So I think it's as always like ways people. I like to approach traffic stops the same way every time, and I like to be like real nice about it. Like I want to make it a nice encounter that you just have with the police, even though you probably gonna get a ticket if I pull you over.
I'll I'll give you that. Like, you're very.
But like I was in training yesterday, and I don't know if you heard, but one of the officers got like caught out on Facebook because she gave a ticket to a police officer's wife in a different city. So she put on Facebook, how dare this officer like said our department and her name, give me a ticket, and I'm a police officer's wife. Like, how dare you? Like, watch out, because we'll do the same to you. Have you heard about that?
Nah, but that sounds like what we had in the military.
Yeah.
Like we had wives of like officers, like lieutenants, captains, majors, that for whatever reason the wife felt entitled of like their husband's rank and position.
Listen, apparently supervisors found out about it, so they called her like the night before training. And they went and looked at her dash cam video, see her traffic stops. And apparently when she approaches cars, she doesn't introduce herself or anything. She goes to the car, she's like, license registration. And nothing else. And she was asking me, she's like, is there something wrong with that? Yes, there's something wrong with that.
I mean,
why just go to the car to license registration?
I mean, you got to be cordial as best you can.
That's the whole thing. Like, hey, I'm Officer so and so. I pulled you over because of this. License. All right. She said she's gonna change it, but
get farther like that, because a lot of times, like you explain to them what they did, and some people admit it. Like, yeah, I was speeding. Yeah, I ran that stop sign.
Have you ever dealt with law enforcement impersonator? I have not.
Nah, seen videos. Pretty funny.
Would you enforce laws that are unconstitutional?
Fuck no. I hate to curse, but I believe in the Constitution, so I'm not doing that. Like, that's something I believe in is the Constitution, so I'm not gonna violate your rights like that.
Do you have a funniest call?
Not off the top of my head, man.
Not top of my. I had a DWI not too long ago, and he was the funnest DWI I've ever had in my life. Like, he was passed out in Burger King's drive-thru. We get there, and all I see is the fire department surrounding his car. And all I see is like him putting it in drive and trying to drive off and went up in front of the car. So I'm like going up, about to put my gun to this dude's face, like, stop. And he looks at me and just starts smiling and was like, hey. He's like, I was knocked out, bro. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, nice. He gets out of the car, bro. He's just like smiling and everything. He's just like, yeah, I drank a little bit. How much a little bit? A lot?
That's when you just be like, all right, bro, park it, start walking.
He was the funniest DWI I've ever charged in my life.
Yeah.
Like, the whole experience, like, throughout the, like, in the car, at the PD, all that. Like, just pure funny.
I don't have, like, any funny calls. I have funny moments, but that's about it.
I hope this never happens, but has your department ever lost multiple officers in a shooting ambush? No, we have not. What's the dumbest thing you've ever did as a cop? I can't think of
anything.
I tried to do dumb stuff.
I mean, I know I do tons of dumb stuff. Can't think of anything like on the spot.
What brand cages do you use? What kind of brand is that?
Freak if I know, dude. A plastic one?
Don't you hate people who always tell you how to do your job, or other people that keep reminding you that they know the rights or I'm a lawyer stuff?
Don't bother
And
me.
I always do the type of people, and 99% of the time they don't know what they're talking about.
Doesn't bother me. No, I just pretend like I didn't hear them.
They never know what they're talking about. What do you focus on patrol for you?
Me, what I've been trying, like what I want to do in the future, and what I've been doing a lot of, I want to say like the past 6 to 7 months, is like narcotics interdiction. So I sit on the highway. Like I went to school for highway interdiction. So I sit on the highway and I'm just pretty much there looking at like drivers and their behavior, and just investigating through that, just trying to see if they're smuggling drugs and stuff like that. And it's from there I get guns, I get significant amounts of drugs, felony warrants, stuff like that. So that's what I do the most of.
I just like pulling cars over. Sometimes I get in moods to where I want to look for specific things. Other times, just like it's a violation, I stop you for the violation.
Hey, it works, man.
It works.
It works.
It does work.
It does work.
And honestly, in the last 2 weeks, I've given 2 traffic stops away where there was guns or pretty good amount of drugs in it. Because one of them, the officer with less experience, let them go, and I was like, "No, what's in the car?" And I was able to talk my way into the car and got weed and a gun. And then the next one was just like a crap ton of, I think, weed and something else. But I gave it back to the officer who it was.
Yeah, I've been getting a lot of weed, like big amounts of weed off the highway.
Did I tell you about the guy we stopped when I was working off duty? Or not, I stopped, but we went up to and he was having sex and then kept talking about how much weed he had in the car. I told you about that?
Nah, I mean, dude, if I was getting booty, I'd tell you everything I did too. I'd be feeling good.
No. So this guy, we pull up and he's like actively like having sex with this chick. Like still going at it. Like we're at the car, lights on, he's still going at it. He stops, puts back on his stuff, and the other officer smelled weed. It was her stop. And she's like, "How much is in the car?" And he starts staring at me. Like, I'm like, "Bro, what are you staring at?" And he's like, "Yes, there is weed in the car." And she's like, "How much is it?" He's like, "It's a lot." So I'm like, "Okay." But he's acting like real nervous. So we go and get him out the car. And he's like nervous as crap. I was about to put him in cuffs, but I was like, I'm going to let him stay out. He's like, "Officer, I need to talk to you over here." I'm like, "All right, let's go over here." He's like, "I'm really nervous because there's a lot of weed in this car." And I'm like, "Dude, what's a lot?" And he's my age. He's 24, 23. He's like, 4. I'm like, "Pounds? Grams?" I was like, "Bruh, I should really hit you right now. You're doing all this for 4 grams? Like, you just played us."
I wouldn't even charge him with that.
No, we didn't. He got charged with some little bitty amount in another city, and the case just got dropped. So I'm guessing what happened is he was having sex with the college, university that we got here, one of those kids. But he's from the other city, like, nice kid, just scared of like 4 grams of weed. I was like, "Bruh, something's out, go home. And you're not built for this life."
I really don't even care about weed, honestly. I don't know too many cops that do.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You guys got K9 units? Yes, we do.
That's where I'm trying to go.
I may go there too.
Do it.
No, I'm lying. Do you have a standard while patrolling, For example, 5 traffic stops a day?
I did when I first got released. My standard was 2 arrests and 10 traffic stops a day minimum. That was like when I first got released. Now I'm like,
ready to go home.
nah. It's like I'll stop maybe 4 cars. Again, like I try to do interdiction on the highway, so like I'm not just out there trying to stop every car. I'm looking for specific cars based off a lot of factors. So I'll stop maybe 4 cars a day, maybe 5, and usually I'll get a good car. I'm not necessarily going to get anything out of it, but it was a good car to stop, and I'll document it. I'll document who was in it, and then, let them go. But I don't honestly, bro, like you already know where we work. We're going to get a ton of arrests anyway, just from Walmart alone. So
yeah.
So I'm not like I'm numbers driven, but I'm not hurting for them.
I'm honestly not numbers driven. Like, I just do it.
Yeah.
And I just happen to outnumber everybody. But,
Almost everybody.
Who haven't I outnumbered?
Me. I ran our numbers last week. Your traffic stops have more than me, but I have like 6 more. No. After last week.
You have what?
I have like 7 more arrests than you.
Okay, and I've been gone for 3 weeks, bro.
Hey. Might want to get on that.
And Walmart is a big part of your arrest, which they've been closing right at 8 o'clock.
Nah, most of my arrests, believe it or not, have been from like warrants and drug stuff lately.
Well, I'm not numbers driven guy. I'm okay with, just doing me.
You've gotten more guns. I've gotten 1 this year. You've gotten how many?
Several.
Yeah, I've only gotten 1.
Do you arrest a lot of juveniles?
Try not to.
No, don't. You do juvenile petitions, mail them off. A lot of officers, for some reason, don't understand juvenile petitions. So they try to stay away from it.
They're fill in the blank. They're so easy.
Ugh, literally, it's a PDF form, and you mail it off.
It's like 5.
Not really mail it off, but put it in lieutenant's box. I don't know why it's such a big deal, but
it's really not.
If you put over a fan who was nice to you, would you let them off?
I mean, I don't have fans.
That's what I put them over for, huh?
I don't have any fans, so that's for you.
It's
like dark in here.
What are the only places with 24-hour police protection? Donut shops.
Okay.
Dang, man. That was a joke. Do you plan on being a detective?
Nah, I don't. I'm just built different.
Yeah, dude, I was late to class almost every day this week. Like an 8 to 5, I don't think it's for me.
Yeah, that's not for me.
Like I told them, they were texting me like, "Are you coming?" Yeah, I just woke up, bruh. Yeah, I'm coming. Like every day, I woke up later and later. Well, take it back. I would wake up, but then I'd be like, "All right, I got 5 more minutes, or I got 10 more minutes."
Sure, I've been up since 6 to.
Did you guys like winter or summer? Which one is better for you guys as cops? Summer?
Summer for me, dude.
I don't like winter just because it's cold. If it snows, my car is not functional. I got stuck backing out the driveway the other day. And my car it's just no bueno.
I don't like snow. I don't like rain, and it's raining right now. So,
what was your most chaotic arrest?
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that on another video.
That's gonna be like a fight video or something. Hopefully, like I said, I'm join you on that. Like actually, like in house.
You said what?
Hopefully, I can join you in house for that story.
Yeah. Let's name the department. What units do you have in your department?
Nah.
I'm not gonna name the department just cause. But What units do we have? Well, we got several units.
K9, SRO.
A gang. I don't know why we only have one gang detective, though. I feel like there needs to be more than just one.
That's above my pay grade. I just work here at this point.
Yeah, I don't know why it's just one gang detective. But, I mean, there's several different units. Are any of you guys on SWAT or planning to be on SWAT?
I was going to go for it this year, but our teams are getting moved around a lot. And I like my team. I like my shift. So if I would have put in for SWAT, or what we call the TAC team, they would have moved me probably the third shift on the other rotation. So I was like, I'm good.
Y'all got a lot of them on your team, don't you?
We had 3. No, we had 2. We only got 1 now. But he's got seniority. And it was me and one of my B partners. We're going to put in for it. And it'd be a good shot that we both would get the TAC team. And then it'd be like a 50-50 draw on who would get moved. So me and him both were just like, look, we like the team. We like the atmosphere. Let's just, there's going to be other tryouts. There's going to be other processes.
Yeah, it's a no for me. Are they still doing college police? Yeah, they got college police.
Some of them are actually real police.
College police?
Yeah, like the one.
All of them are real police.
Yeah, but some of them actually got like jurisdiction in the city, not just the campus.
Yeah. I talked to the one that works at the university that I went to the academy with yesterday. The guy.
Yeah.
I just said Shaw. Talked to Shaw yesterday. I gotta fill you in on him. He's something else.
Yeah. I wonder what it's like with all 2 of his arrests.
What is what?
All 2 of his ever made.
He said they have city jurisdiction, which I didn't know they did.
No, they don't.
He said they do.
That's not what I've been told by many people.
He said that he goes all over the city. So
he also takes pictures in his uniform and puts it on Facebook.
He loves that. But he went viral though, so
yeah, not in a good.
He's kind of famous. Have I ever been yelled at by an HR or superior ranking officer?
Yelled at by an FTO?
By an FTO.
Yeah. So technically,
that's it. Not a superior ranking officer. I honestly probably yell back because we got a rule that you're not supposed to do that. So if you break it, I'm gonna break it, and you're not gonna yell at me like I'm a kid. Do y'all have a lunch place where all your cop friends meet up during lunch?
I mean, if they do, I don't eat with them.
You said what?
If they do, I don't eat with them.
Yeah, honestly, you don't eat with them.
I pack.
Your whole team will be at one place.
Yeah, I pack. It's cheaper, it's healthier, and that's like my downtime. I just get to eat some dinner, put on like a video, YouTube, whatever, and relax for a few minutes.
Yeah. How do you feel about security guards?
You made a video on that, didn't you?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking you.
I don't got a problem with them if they're actually helpful, but when they start pretending they're the police, then it becomes a problem. Like we had one at one of the hotels, Southside. Dude had a badge, a gun, radio, everything, and I get there. I was the first one. I think you showed up like 2 minutes later. I just happened to be around the corner, and the dude was like, she's under arrest for trespassing and all this stuff. And I was just like, first off, let me see what I got first.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, second, you're not telling me who I'm arresting.
Yeah.
Oh, stand back. We got this. And then we ended up letting her go. I think it was one of your partners let her go because I think he took primary or something. And that security guard got pissed at me for some reason.
Yeah, we also got a new. You're talking about NC, right?
Nah, the one on Southwest.
Okay. We had those. So apparently the head guy is actually a police officer. Like he's sworn.
Yeah, I heard that.
But all the rest of them are just security guards.
Yeah, they're not.
And I was talking to one the other day. He had assistant chief on his shirt. Well, I guess it's about a month ago now. And he seemed pretty cool, but the other ones can be just no good. Like, call about the smallest stuff. At a drug hotel. Like, everybody that stays here is a prostitute or doing some type of drug. Like, we're there for overdoses how many times a day?
More than I can count.
So no need to call us for any little thing. Just stop letting them stay at the hotel. When I said security can't say you're under arrest. That was the problem.
Should have arrested him for impersonating at that point.
All right. All right. Have you ever raced other cops?
Good question. Next.
I have not. I can skip. How many substations do y'all have? None. We're getting a new department done. I think they're trying to I think city council wants us to have the building that we have now as a substation.
I hope they do. It's closer to me.
No, but chief doesn't want it because they also want it to be manned by a police officer. So that would mean that you have to stick a police officer in there all day.
Nah, I'm straight.
Exactly. So I wouldn't want that either. Has there ever been homeless people that walked on school campus and forced people on lockdown? I work third shift. I don't know anything about schools.
I don't patrol where the campus is, so.
You got the one school in our beat though. They'll be out by the time you get to work though.
Yeah, but I mean, even like back when we rotated, I never heard of anything like that.
Yeah, I was still north side. I don't think we got a high school.
Yeah, you got like 2, I think, up there.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You do. Do you play games? GTA?
Nah, not GTA. I don't really play online stuff. I play like Fallout, like those RPGs, Skyrim, stuff like that. But I'm not like addicted to them. I'll play them like every once in a while. But I'm married. I got a kid. I got other things I want to do.
/ have to do.
Yeah.
If you could have any car in the world for patrol car, what would it be?
I think I said this. Probably.
You said Tahoe?
If I had to choose, be an Explorer.
Same. That's what I want.
Like a pursuit-rated Explorer.
A who?
A pursuit-rated Explorer.
Oh, yeah. All right. This will be the last one. Have you ever been called to a citizen's arrest call?
What does that even mean?
Huh?
What does that even mean?
Like a citizen arrested somebody, and then they called us.
I mean, I'm sure I have. If I don't have a charge that I can arrest for, I'm not going to do it.
I guess technically, like Walmart would be that, like loss prevention.
Yeah, I guess you're right. But we don't need a warrant for that crime.
You said what?
We don't need a warrant for arrest for that crime.
Right.
So, I mean, the fact that we could just show up and be like, yeah, okay.
Well, that also gives them the right. They also can detain for that too.
Yeah, because they're I forget the general statute, but they're considered security, so they can detain.
Yeah. None of the security guards have ever detained anybody. Most security guards won't really detain anybody. They'll just call us before they leave or something, hopefully.
Yeah, I did have one security guard to try to clear a room with me, and I was just like, no, put your gun away. I'm going to wait for my partner, and you're going to wait outside.
Yeah, no. No. But anyway, y'all, it's been cool. It's been an hour, 34 minutes. We're going to see y'all the next time, all right? Thank you for joining, man.
Yeah. Like I
Officer
said.
D, would Officer C be a good police chief?
You ever seen the end of Terminator? That's probably what it would look like.
What?
The end of Terminator, like the apocalypse? That's probably what it would look like.
if he became chief, I think he would try to put everybody in a real tight shirt.
Nice tight polo outer vest.
Yes. Who?
Like the outer carriers.
All right, that you may get my vote for.
Everyone has got to train jiu-jitsu.
Who?
Everyone would have to train in Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, it'll be some stuff that it'll be crazy. Yeah, lieutenant, captain, chief, a little much for him right now. But all right. Thank you, man. See y'all next time.
Latest.